This is a PodCo original.
And she literally just posted that she's like, I have an OnlyFans and also vote for me for the Kids' Choice Awards.
The same sentence. How you feeling about the Tonys this Sunday? Will you be watching? What do you do during Tonys? Do you care? You know, I'm finding out some really cool, interesting information about the Tonys this year. But will you be watching?
Love Glenn Powell. He's
your face,
a local Austin person.
Yes.
So like, and I know people he's hooked up with. So like, I just
shit!
know
Wait, no,
he's
don't
actually.
you just whoa, back up! Don't you just trail over that real quickly? Here we go.
Oh, eso muy delicioso.
I was trying to think of hey Christy. I was trying to think of what we were. I'm sorry. I just noticed the bald spot on my head, and I'm.
Oh, honey, I'm way ahead of you. We're talking. I have got bald spots right there. What is that? It's like the widow's peak of your hair. Where it's just
depressing is what it is. I always had, like that hairline, a weird hairline on the sides. Like my hair grew thin, but now it's just growing so thin. I'm like, do I need to take supplements? Do you know what I mean? Like, do I need to take, do you take
supplements? And
no, I take biotin. I'm sorry. I take biotin, which is like good for, right?
Okay.
It's good for you. It's like that powder
that should help, right?
Yeah. It helps a little, but it's thick everywhere else, but it's just not thick in the bald spots.
I'll tell you what, it gets even worse after you have a baby. It falls out really bad. And
That's what I hear.
Yeah, and we've actually done a couple. I've done them. I don't know if it was this podcast or my God, I can't even, Anneliese. What? But it was this. It was. Oh God, why am I not remembering it? It was the frickin' serum. Oh no, I feel like
I know. Idiot. We're old. We're old and balding, Christy. We're old and balding. We have no memory. It's like what I said last week with Gloria Steinem that we're getting to an age where when we remember something quickly, it's better than an orgasm. Truly. What were we saying?
It's Vegamore.
Week?
I did it. I found it.
You did it.
Oh yeah,
you did it. Vigomore.
That's what
I was trying to think of, Christy. Oh, that's what I was trying to think of. What was our... What were we saying last week?
Look at us.
We were saying, oh boy. Or what were we saying last week?
Oh, no, we were saying, wowie, wow, wow.
Oh my God. We're so annoying, but I could not remember that. Wowie, wow,
First of all, we are some people's brand of annoying because we have the most amazing comments in our comment section popping off. And
do we?
People
what are people
a lot
saying
of fun.
About us? What are they saying about us?
I don't know. I think they're generally they're pretty proud of us for getting together and doing this crazy pod. And then wherever this goes, which we have really cool plans for in the near future. I think what's cool about it is that with podcasts, what I'm learning after, whatever, this many years of it, is that it's like a slow and steady kind of get the word out kind of thing too. And I think I'd rather prefer that we just like be ourselves than try to like impress everybody all the time. And I love that about us.
Yeah, girl, I don't know how to do anything else. I'm so over that shit. What am I, still auditioning? I'm 40. I'm 40.
You're not 40 yet.
I know, I keep doing
You're
that.
not
It's
40
so
yet.
funny.
You're getting there.
I know. I have 2 months. I mean, basically, I know. I guess it's a way of preparing myself for something by just constantly saying, what?
Wait a minute. What is the day of your birth? What is it?
September 23rd, 1984.
Okay, what are I was going to say, what are we doing? But you are kind of like getting married and...
nothing.
There's a lot going on in your life.
I've never planned a birthday for myself
ever.
I've never planned a birthday. Gosh, for anyone else? Have I ever planned a birthday for anyone else ever? No, I find it so, I don't know, hard and difficult and annoying. Like just like a hassle. Like why? I just want to go to dinner with my fiance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you planned anything for him though? Like, have you planned like a gathering, a dinner party?
No. Like it's kind of a rule. Like you do nothing for me and I'll do nothing for you. Deal.
It's really interesting. You're the first person that I know who's like this that's not an asshole. Like truly, like I feel like because I'm, me, I'm so stupid and extra about this stuff that I'm like, oh, somebody who doesn't want to like do something, is like kind of selfish and self-absorbed, but you're not like that at all. You're the most giving, loving, sweetest, like you're awesome. So like, it's interesting. I think you're more like, would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Ooh, an introvert for sure. For sure. I think a lot of us are. And what is that saying? It's about how you, I think we've talked about this, about how you refuel, how you, what you need in your life in order to be, present and alive, and where you get your energy. Like I get my energy from being at home, being with just, and on a cozy couch with my friends. But yeah, no, I mostly like that. This is how I feel about birthdays. I just feel like in our adulthood, like no one cares about you. You know what I mean? Like nobody cares that you turned 36. Like no one cares. Okay. Maybe I've just done too many cameos, but like the big one's 40, you know what I mean? The big one's 40, 50. Like I get it. I'm still not going to do anything. I'm about to be 40, but here's another thing too. I find you're always disappointed whenever you plan something big and you do it. People don't show up, it costs too much money. You're just disappointed. So that's how I feel.
There is always going to be a level of disappointment with party planning. It is so high drama. That is the one thing I'll say, is that it is my own reality show every time I throw a party. So for example, I now have a 4th of July party that I decided to host at the house because, our house has got the pool and a view and it's like really cool. And it's like, why are we going to live here?
Christy's house is insane, you guys. It's like a $20 million house. Like, I'm sorry, but it's gorgeous. It's absolutely fabulous.
So like, it's very high drama to throw events. And I learn that every single time. And I will say it is my own like Real Housewives kind of moment for myself and I spoke to somebody else who's a local, I guess she's an influencer, but she was on a reality show. Her name is Kayla Quinn and she's a good friend. And she's like, oh no, I'm a complete bitch before the party. I don't even care if it's like my daughter's like, second birthday or something, like whatever the party is, I'm a complete bitch. And I can relate to this because there is such high stakes before you throw your party. And I'm telling you right now, like I'm already like so invested in this 4th of July party. And I think maybe like 20, 25, I think it could end up being 50. But let me tell you the lengths of which you start to really get in your head about a party when you're like a party planner person. First of all, you're right. It is expensive. Mm-hmm. Second of all, then you're like, who's going to make it? And then you go into this whole narrative of like, I'm not worth people showing up for. And like, are they going to come? And like, there's like a whole thing. Why are you
doing it to yourself, Christy? Why?
I think
you love it. It's fun. I might be it's creative.
A masochist. I'm a masochist. Yeah.
No.
Wait, what is the sadist is giving pain. The masochist is taking it, right?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what S&M.
Oh,
I know. That's what S&M stands for, is sadist and masochist.
Yeah, sounds hot. Listen, this is so funny. I actually, growing up, my mom, before a party, before getting everybody together, wonderful cook, fabulous cook. But my mother, this is probably why I feel this way about parties, but my mom went absolutely ape shit before a party. She was horrible, but also she just really was bipolar and could really fly off the handle. And so she wanted to throw a party, but she was just awful getting it together. You couldn't get around her. She was screaming and truly throwing things and then would put it all together before the party. People came over. I thought, why are you doing this? It was really just to impress other people, and really what we saw behind the scenes, it was horrible.
Yeah. And I would say that I think a lot of I get so, and you were talking about how you get energy. I get so much energy from throwing these parties. That's the only reason I continue to do them. It's because I feel like I can sort of, it's almost weird because, I have a little bit of performance anxiety, but for me, it's like literally setting the stage. It's like a production.
Yeah.
I get crazier. So Brendan comes into the room and he goes, Christy, why did I just get a party quote? Like, how they give you quotes for, balloon creator, people walking on still, stuff like that. He goes, why did I just get a quote for a Civil War reenactor? And
no, that's so funny, Christy. That is hilarious.
I know. And I was like, and we live in Texas, and I was like, sweetheart, I think they're actual war historians. Like, I actually wasn't looking for the Civil War period per se. He's like, that's not even factual because it's actually the tea, the tea. Like, if you wanted to be factual about the 4th of July, it would be when the big Boston Tea Party thing happened. I was like, no, this isn't about the facts. It's like, I just want a war historian to come in old timey garb and talk to the children.
I just want a reenactment. I just want men on my lawn fighting. That's all I'm interested in.
That's it. Swords.
That is so funny.
Like,
that sounds like a fun ass party. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a really
I'm just
fun
saying.
party.
You know, I throw a good party. I guess
do.
me and our gentleman friend Todrick, who actually just opened up in burlesque.
Yes, burlesque
in UK.
London.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds
He's
like
all
fun.
over the. He's all over the billboards everywhere. Yeah, mazel tov to him. Congratulations. That's a big deal. Writing, producing, and being in it. Wow, what a cool thing.
Wait,
yeah.
It's his show? He actually created, or is it burlesque like the movie burlesque? Right?
Burlesque, like no. It's his show. It's the stage version of burlesque. Yes, that he's written and
But did he produce it?
I think so.
Oh,
I mean,
bless his heart.
Yes.
Happy for him. That's what he wanted to do all along. He just.
Yeah,
And
he's very
I even
talented.
did I did a comment too, where I was like, you know, to us, to you, to me, I just feel like the theater is always our family. You can kind of always go home to it.
Yes.
And he agreed with that. So
Speaking
I just think
of
there's something about it.
Hey y'all, this is Anneliese with Big Name Bitches. And did you know support for today's episode comes from Honey Love? Well, it does. And did you know Honey Love has revolutionized the bra game? Well, it has. Say goodbye to underwire without sacrificing lift. Honey Love's bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for uncomfortable wires. Honey Love offers a wide range of sizes and caters to the diverse needs of all women. How cool is that? Honey Love is not just supporting women, it's empowering women. So treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/big. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/big to find your perfect fit. After your purchase, they may ask you where you heard about them, so please support our show and tell them we sent you. Honeys, you deserve this. Free the pain of discomfort. Keep the support with Honey Love.
Yes.
Speaking of the theater, how you feeling about the Tonys this Sunday? Will you be watching? What do you do during Tonys? Do you care? You know, I'm finding out some really cool, interesting information about the Tonys this year. But will you be watching? I'm asking you 18 questions in one go.
That's okay. I'm used to it and I love it. And I love every single one of those questions. I don't generally watch the Tonys. How I feel like I probably should. I feel kind of big name bitter. Maybe that's a new slogan. Big name bitter.
I love that.
I was never invited to the Tonys. Have you been to the Tonys?
No, like to perform or to be in the audience. Hells no.
Exactly.
Well, my one stint is Belle in Beauty and the Beast. They were like, this show's closing, but I think we should nominate her. No,
but you can get tickets, can't you? Get some seat filler tickets, or like you can go. No,
I sure can for about $5,500 a pop.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What? You guys, the Tonys. I'm sorry, but what? Like, can we talk about it? Because I know we have a bunch of theater goers, doers, and wannabeers.
Queens.
No, I'm just kidding. Queens, and yeah, people love the theater. But yeah, so this year it's in a really small theater, and I'm sorry forgive me for not knowing, but I think they're gonna have some real trouble. It's in a teeny tiny theater, and it's been really hard to get tickets, and they've even not let a lot of the press come because the red carpet's going to be so small, and a lot of the producers who normally are automatically granted a ticket to the Tonys are not. And they're almost trying to like sell them off, saying, well, if you still want to come, you can for $1,700 here, $5,500 here. Like, they're insanely expensive. A lot of people were gypped this year, and that's the talk around town. At least the negative.
Holy
talk
cow!
around
What's
town.
going on with the Tonys?
What's going
on?
I don't know.
You don't have any theory?
Well, it's like, could they not afford a bigger theater? Why wouldn't they get the biggest theater out there? Or what's going on? Yeah, why are they in such a small theater? I can't really figure that out. Like, did they mean to snub
I find
it?
that
Did they not get
interesting
enough?
because
Who's doing it? CBS? Yeah, maybe CBS didn't
I
give
don't
them a
know.
lot of money or something.
Oh, maybe not. But here's the thing. All of these other award shows are doing massive budgets with like, you know, that crazy zoom in camera that everybody does. And they're doing it with like TikTokers. TikTokers are like massive TikTokers are considered like, I feel like journalists these days. And they're like hosting the red carpet pre-show coverage. Right. And like, you've got to know that each of those people, I mean, most of them are probably pretty excited to be there, but like they're probably giving a little bit of a budget to them for at least their stylist and their transportation and their day of everything. So I just think that's really fascinating that the Tonys what does that mean? I wonder if somebody could tell us in our comments or DM us. Like, I just wonder what that means.
I do too. I actually want to talk to you about it because I definitely do too. And I thought you might know, you've got such a good business sense. It doesn't make, I don't
it's not
know.
a good sign.
I think a lot of the numbers are going to get cut. Like, I just don't see how they can do them. The stage isn't really big enough, but we'll see.
It's that small?
I mean, I've seen so people are posting because they're in rehearsals right now and it looks teeny. And I just I know a lot of producers and people, not a lot, but I know people, behind the scenes with this, and that's what they're saying. That just, and then also I think I might have sent you something, a couple theater publicists, theater journalists who have been invited before and have always been invited aren't. So something's going on. It's just scaled way down. And yes, I do.
Wow. Well, we should watch it just to support, because I think if there's anything that we can do, if you're a theater person who doesn't generally watch the Tonys, maybe now I actually will give them my rating.
This is the one time where I'm like, I always hate competition and award shows in the sense that they give out awards. It's really stupid, and comparing art doesn't make sense to me. But of course, this is also mostly a way to sell the show. It's to get people to come to New York and see theater and buy a ticket. It's their showcase, essentially. True. And I really can't wait to. I hate that fast filming that they do now. It's like, I just want to see it as a whole. Like, I want to see everybody in synchronized dancing. I don't want to see. There's so many cuts and splices. We'll see what they do. When's the last time you went to an event like that, though? A red carpet or an award show? I can't even remember the last time I went.
Oh my God! Honestly, the one that comes to mind. I mean, I just went to a really wonderful charity event called MJ&M, which is like this massive auction with Matthew McConaughey and some other really awesome guys. And it's like they raised, I mean, I think I might have told you this, but they raised like, oh my God, $6 million in one night, something insane.
Whoa,
in one evening, in one sitting, one auction, 6 million, maybe more.
Wow.
And so I was there watching it all go down. And then of course they had, was it Luke Combs perform right after? And it was like it's this insane event that gets larger every year. And yeah, there's a red carpet, but it's Austin style. So it's very laid back. But the last time I was oh my God, honestly, I need to go check my wire image, because I'm literally having to piece my life together. And you must know this because you're writing your book and whatnot. Like, you have to start piecing the holes of your memory together, where you're just I have no clue.
Yeah, well, that's when you just got to start making some shit up. But yeah, it's really hard. And
that.
Also, we don't, right? Yeah, we got to make it interesting. No, I'm just kidding. I tell the truth. I tell no lies. But listen, we didn't have the photographs. We didn't have iPhones back then. There is like, when I think about Beauty and the Beast and living in New York all those years, it's like, what the hell? What was I doing when I wasn't doing the show? And there's such big chunks of my life that are absolutely missing. I totally know what you mean. Yeah. That is so funny.
I actually am kind of curious. What was your daily life like? I wonder, to compare it to what I had to be with, because like, I think, after the show, we probably all got a little tipsy when we could afford to do it. Like, I personally went out to lots of clubs and I danced my butt off like several times a week. But I think so I was really tired in the morning, so I slept in, and then I'd have to go do let's see, I had acupuncture, acupressure. I had to do all sorts of different things to my body just to be able to like do those shows. What was your daily life like?
Yeah, you had a hard time. I remember you telling me about all that stuff. That just sounds sucky. I mean, I had a hard time too. And I just actually did a chapter on this, my Beauty and the Beast chapter, but I had a hard time too for a big pivotal thing that was going on at the time. But also, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the show was closing.
Your daily life, like the way you woke up. Oh yeah, the show was closing.
The show was closing. Everybody was really over it. And I will say, this was the start of also my drinking. So my girlfriend Anna was telling me this. She was doing an encore show at the same time I was doing Beauty and the Beast. I was doing my rehearsal. It was like a 10-day put-in. And she reminded me, she was like, I couldn't believe how much you were drinking. And I was so blasé about it. Like, she was like totally into her encore rehearsals, like memorizing her stuff, going home, eating a healthy meal. And I was just like drinking my face off, kind of looking at my lines, and then just stumbled into opening night. She's like, and then you just
killed it.
She's like, you She's like, you had not a care in the world. And she was like, then, and then I did opening and it was pretty great. It's just like, but I was drinking like straight vodka while watching TV with her, like not while she was just focused. And I just wasn't. I was just, really immature and 23. But my daily life, I mean, I definitely was working out. I was, doing a lot of like fresh direct orders, and I actually had a lot going on, but I really am kind of saving some of it for the book because it was pretty fascinating.
Oh, this is so exciting. The thing is, these are things that I don't even know. So I'm very much looking forward to this.
How often do you think, I wish I knew, well, maybe you don't, and this is really for so many viewers, but I wish I knew way more about the stars on Broadway and how they live their lives and what they do in their meantime. Like if I knew what Patti LuPone was doing on her downtime when she was playing Eva Perón in Evita, like I want to know her daily routine. Like where did she frequent? What was her route to work? What were the streets that, that I love that kind of stuff. So that's what I hope to give. But anyway, enough about us and our bullshit. Should we, Christy, you got so surprised. You were like, her eyes widened, everybody. She was like, what's she going to say? Enough of this bullshit.
I'm ready. I'm ready. It's so interesting. We're talking just now about pop culture stuff, guys, because we've expired our interest in musical theater, as you guys have told us that you like. I follow this one really awesome and hilarious influencer. Her name is Hannah Stocking, and she's been really successful for a really long time, doing sort of like these wild CGI kind of like stunts and stuff like that. And she literally just posted that she's like, I have an OnlyFans, and also vote for me for the Kids' Choice Awards.
In the same sentence.
It's actually like I hope she's trolling everybody, but she's not. She's actually up for a Kids' Choice Award, and she's like, please. She really wants people to vote for her. Yeah. And then it's so wild to me, like of course it's Nickelodeon, but it's so wild to me that a person can be so many different things to so many different people and get away with it when you're not, a traditional celebrity or something like that. It's just wild. Like you wouldn't see Zendaya be like, here I am doing, the Met Gala, and now I have an OnlyFans. It's just wild.
Right? I know. Well, she doesn't need to do that, I guess, right? I mean, that's just all it is.
Right. That's true. How much? Yeah. I mean, man, money's crazy. Okay. So let's get back on track. That was literally just, I had picked up my phone and I saw that and thought, that's really fascinating.
That is fascinating.
I mean, I'm very sex positive. I've always been very sex positive. I've always been pro sex work in terms of it being regulated, legalized, and that it's something that I've always been sort of like very tolerant and like expressed support, I guess you could call it, like a general support for it. And so, I mean, OF seems to, I know that people would love us to have OFs. Would you ever have an OF?
I'm sorry,
OnlyFans.
Oh, sorry, you shortened it. I'm not that into the lingo. If I needed money, I guess so. Or I guess...
Yeah.
Well, because you can cater it to do whatever you want, right? I could just show my little toes or something, right? Like, I don't think you have to
show those toes and people would love your toes.
I think it's the branding though. It's like, right. So if you tell anybody you're on OnlyFans, they're like, oh, it's like, it's not like saying you're on Instagram, but you say you're on OnlyFans and people like shit their face or whatever. But what? That doesn't make sense.
Oh my God. You on OnlyFans would be amazing. I think Lindsay Shaw has been flirting with the idea of like getting it set up to like do it. I mean, I have to check in with her.
I'm sure you make
she's
lot
very
of money.
sex positive.
Yeah, and you make a lot of money.
I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not there yet. Like, but I nothing against it. Nothing against it. No, seriously.
I love this for you. Okay. Yeah. So what are we talking about? Okay, so pop culture wise, I just last night watched. Is it Joe Coy? Yeah, he was hilarious. Come to find out, what was he married to Chelsea Handler?
No, he wishes. They were dating. Were they engaged? Oh shit! I think they were. I just thought they were dating or something. But anyway, same thing, right? That didn't work out. It didn't work out. That's what we know.
Yeah, Chelsea Handler. I was really shocked though that they were long-term partners.
Yeah.
And but this guy is just so funny. He's like, I guess he's like probably like 43, over 40, and he just had the funniest set of I don't give a fuck kind of humor that you and I can totally relate to. And anybody that thinks that we're mildly amusing, I think would also appreciate it. And I think that's where we're at now. It's like our age and our perspective and point of view on the world is just like, we need to fucking laugh. Like everyone needs to relate to one another.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I feel like that too. I mean, we're just getting to that age where we're talking shit about the age younger than us, right? We're like, we know more than you. We don't believe in rock and roll. What are you crazy kids doing? It's funny that you said that though, because I saw the preview. You know, there's Joe. It's so fucking hard to say his name sometimes.
I think it's John, and it's not John. It's Joe. Joe Coy.
It's Joe Coy. Yeah, but I think okay. Yeah. Anyway, he there's his Netflix specials on. There's like a little preview of it when you're like flipping through Netflix, and it doesn't seem funny to me. The clip that they picked, I don't know what it is, but he says something so general, right? So it's like observational comedy, but the observation he's made is of observation that like anyone can make about social media, and he says it should be anti-social media, right? Like that's the joke or something. Anyway, I'm being such a bitch. I've only seen a clip, but that's deterred me from watching it. But now that you're saying it's good, I think I will give it a try.
Tips up from me, and I wonder what you'll think.
Okay, now let me ask you this: Did you see him host the Oscars, the Emmys? What was it?
Oh, remember when he got? I didn't. Was it?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? Did he get canceled?
No, he was bad. It's so hard to do those shows. It's so hard to host those shows. But he was really bad, and he blamed not getting laughs on the fact that they gave him the job like 10 minutes ago. He was just like, sorry, they just gave me this job.
Wait, was this the guy that like yelled at everybody and it was like, come on, it's funny or something like that? Was he yelling at the audience? Was this him?
Yes.
Oh no.
Joe Coy host.
Oh no.
Yeah, okay. So he hosted the Golden Globes. Defensive. He gets defensive. Yeah, the reviews, remember, he got defensive during the monologue. Anyway, so this is good that he's had this comeback. Obviously he just, didn't do a good job hosting. No, he doesn't need to be canceled, but it's funny that he's come back with this Netflix special and you like it. So I'm going to watch it. Long story long, tits up.
Give it a shot, you guys. Give it a shot. What else?
Okay, so
I'm very excited about. I watched a few trailers for like upcoming things, and I'm like excited about the show The Boys. The Boys coming back. Yes, do you know The Boys?
I do. Jonna watches it. I don't watch it. Why? Is it good? Do you? Should I? What?
Oh my God. You can right now binge it and then you'll be psyched if it's for you, I guess. I mean, has Jono told you why you wouldn't like it or anything like that? Because sometimes my husband will watch something and then I end up watching it and eventually being like invested.
Totally. No. He says it's good. I had an audition for it one time, I think. Maybe that's sometimes like that ruins things for me, like, and like it just like gets like so real. Like I don't even see it as a cool thing anymore. I just see it as work or something. But also, I mean, I think the title says it all for me. It's called Boys. And I don't know. I'm sorry. That's just not the show I'm rushing to. I'm sure it's great, but I've definitely watched Girls. I watched Girls.
I remember Girls. Yeah. Oh my God, Girls. It did not, Girls did not age well. It did not age well.
I know. I know.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't hold up. It's like, this is problematic. You girls are really, really
out of touch. Out of touch.
And what is it called? No, entitled.
Bad people. Very bad people. Yeah. They were when I watched it, I felt like I was trying to learn about my brother-in-law's generation and stuff. Like I was like trying to connect with a younger part of me, and I was going back to college at the time, so I was like trying to understand what the hell was going on. And I was like, okay, so this is like dark humor now, like this is what we're all trying to understand and laugh at and be satirical or whatever it is. And then now that it hasn't aged well, I feel vindicated, because when you go back to Sex and the City, that has at least the first series, not necessarily just like that, but the first series did age well.
It did. There every now and then there's a little something. Carrie's weird about her gay friends or judgmental about every now and then. Actually, I'm watching it because I actually just rewatched the whole thing and I'm like, oof. But no, not like Girls, not as a whole, not as like a through line subject matter. Like it's just a comment here or there on Sex and the City, but on Girls, you're right. It does not hold up. Like that first episode, I'm like, bitch, get a job. Like, I'm sorry, but yeah, I've been working in the industry since I was 15, but I worked in the cafeteria and did like summer school and summer stock jobs.
Just get a job.
Just get a job. Those girls were so entitled. Oh my God, they're gross. Sorry. Maybe that's why it's interesting how Lena Dunham hasn't really had anything since.
Yeah, Lena's changed quite a lot since then. Yeah. I feel like her whole thing. I saw her in My Husband and I watched This Is 40 the other day, and I feel like she's a totally she's obviously grown, for better, for worse. But like, I think it just seems like a totally different artist on the whole. So yeah, I mean, I love us. I love how random we are. I was excited about The Boys. And then I was scrolling through social media, as I unfortunately can't stop doing. And I saw a quote from my absolute like top icon, which is, Angelina Jolie. And it said, she did a quote. And I think this was, honestly, it wasn't even regarding like what it seems like it was, but she said, oh God.
What did she say? I saw her Jono saw her at Reefer Madness the other day. He went to see her. I'm just talking while you're looking for that. So they're doing Reefer Madness.
Saw Angelina Jolie?
Sat right in front of her. Sat right in front of her the whole show. Yeah.
Was she gorgeous?
Yeah. He said
I love
this,
her
though.
so much.
She was the only one in the place with the sunglasses on. And,
fabulous.
And I should say this.
Icon.
I know. You would say that you love her, but here, let me say this. She's great. I mean, whatever. I don't know her, whatever.
I know.
But so Reefer Madness is, they're doing this live version of it. The Kristen Bell movie, they're doing a live version of it in Los Angeles, and they had an opening night, and it was star-studded, really big stars there. But the biggest, Jono said, was Angelina Jolie, and she knew it. She kept her sunglasses on the whole show. Now, mind you, the theater's dark. Like, it gets dark at some point. Like, how are you going to keep your glasses on the entire time? Like, that would give me a migraine ASAP. Like, how the fuck did she do that? Truly.
Her and her daughter have been investing in that Broadway show, which I think will probably, I wonder if she'll go to the Tonys.
The Outsiders.
That would really help them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. I'm excited to watch now.
Do you think that would help them? Actually, now that you say that, do you think so?
Yes.
Oh,
no, I don't think her alone. I think that with marketing these days,
people care that much about her anymore,
Maybe not. And I think that's probably why she's like started to kind of descend into investor philanthropic, but like not just on like the whole like advocating for refugees kind of thing. Like she's now moving into this whole thing. Plus her divorce, which I want to get into, is really messy. Like I am still shocked that they haven't been grown adults enough to like figure this shit out. And I was like, how many things? I knew they had the vineyard together, but it was like, it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. And it's not quite the whole crazy, Depp Heard situation, right? But it is very messy. She said something a while ago, but she said, if you have to talk to more than 3 people about the same problem, you don't want to help you on attention. And it threw me because I feel like I don't read a lot of quotes from her. You don't see her.
No.
Everything that she says to me impacts me if I catch it, but I don't see and read a lot of interviews from her. There's still an air of mystery about her to me. Hence the sunglasses. But when she said that, it hit me because I was like, fuck, like I've talked so much about my past and all my friends, we all talk about it. And it's like, yeah, we've told more than 3 people, but then, and yes, we did want attention with it, but it wasn't the kind of attention. It was more or less like, it was a different kind of thing. So I know that she was talking about like hunger and farmers, and it's something very different, but it's a really interesting take on, just the ecosystem of like social media and like fame as a whole. Right. And so I think it's like really interesting when we look at like when you and I were talking about the whole JoJo Siwa thing and it's like fun as we are older, it's kind of fun for us to like play with these trends and play with people. I don't think we're taking it as serious as people think we are.
Hells no. Oh my God, no.
Absolutely.
No, it's all great for me. All that shit's great for me. It just moves my numbers. I mean, I can be a slut. I can be a slut on Instagram. I don't need OnlyFans. I don't need OF. I'll just take JoJo Siwa down on
You're
Instagram.
doing FU, which is just the FU on TT and the FU on IG. And then speaking of the divorce, I just want to sum that up because I know I'm a little squirrely.
No, you were going to say something about Brad Pitt, right?
I don't like him anymore. You don't understand. He was my first crush in the whole world. Him and Leo DiCaprio. And when I say like he was my first man crush, like girl. Yes.
What are you trying to say? What is Christy trying to say right now? What
I'm trying to say.
What?
I was totally into Brad Pitt for the longest time. And when they got together, I was like, this is literally like my like if I was ever going to have a throuple, it would be
okay. But how did you feel? So
Pitt.
You just didn't care about Jennifer Aniston at all? Is that what you're telling me? You just did not care what he did?
I didn't care. I was like, that bitch doesn't want kids. Fuck her.
Yeah, she did.
No, I obviously don't feel that way now. I actually think that she was such a class act about their divorce, and she obviously still friends with him. Yeah. And we don't know these people, like you said. Like, we don't know these people. We'll never know these people. We never know. But it's fun to kind of like, for me, when we talk about your reality shows and stuff, like this is one of those fandoms that I personally have investment in for years now. And so, you know, she's a Gemini, Angelina. So she does have two sides of her personality. And so it's hard to believe in the onset of the drama, like, oh no, like, let's demonize her because she's, you know, kind of spooky, kind of skinny, kind of moody, an addict, like all these things. And it was like, yeah, I even did it. I even was like, oh my God, she's such a black widow. Like, why did I even look up to her or think that she was cool? And then I started to kind of piece it together. And now when we look at the fact that his, you know, PAX I don't know if it's on a Father's Day, he like basically was calling his dad all these horrible names and like, on Father's Day, he took to Instagram.
Wait, last year? Like last year? It's not even Father's Day
I think
yet.
it was like last year.
Oh no! Yeah, what did he say? What did he say? Oh, he was drinking, right?
He just said he was but his son, who I think he punched in the aircraft, in their private aircraft, which is why she was like, I'm done.
Well, yeah, you can't hit the kids. You can't abuse the kids. Yeah.
You can't kind of close fist your child in the air like that. There's still laws preventing that.
Are there actually?
And your wife's not gonna like.
Like I wonder what time.
God.
But what the you know what I'm saying?
What the child abuse laws are? I think it's what the jurisdiction is. Well, anyway, I think I saw this new trailer for his movie. Speaking of new trailers, right? And I saw this new trailer for Wolves, and it has George Clooney and it has Brad Pitt. Now everybody's excited about them coming back together because of their Ocean's 11 days. But when I tell you that George Clooney looks younger than Brad Pitt, he looks like a zaddy. He looks so good. What? And I think it's because he's unproblematic, not abusing his twins, loving his wife, his gorgeous wife.
I'm all.
And I just think he's living a better lifestyle. It just seems that way.
In Italy. Like, hell yeah, of course. Drinking limoncellos. Eating the pasta. So, yeah, of course.
I'm sad. Like my number one and number two crush, but now with Angelina, but like Brad is now like, I'm so disappointed. I've let him go.
It's so funny. I've been thinking about Brad a lot because I was thinking about Brad. I was talking to Jono about Brad in Burn After Reading and a couple like roles he's done sort of effortlessly. And we watched, I was going to say The Fall Guy. No, we watched Hitman, you know, with the guy you like. With
yes, Glenn Powell. He lives here in Austin.
Yeah. See, Glenn Powell's very talented, very handsome, all the things. I don't, I'm not on this like insane train that everyone's on, like Glenn Powell, like, they're really shoving us.
They're trying to make Glenn happen.
Yeah, they're trying to make Glenn happen. Exactly. Stop making fetch happen. Right. They're shoving him down our throats. Right. And I'm like, for this movie, like, I don't know. I really think they needed a character actor like a Michael Shannon or something, like somebody who can do drama but also do all these funny characters. Like, I'm like, is this movie like a thriller? Am I supposed to be laughing? Is this a comedy? I didn't really get it. I didn't laugh once. I didn't love it. It felt very 90s, like a 90s movie, and that made me feel nostalgic and good. But anyway, I was just thinking so much about Brad and how much better he would have been, and how like he's our Glenn Powell.
He's
like
unique.
I wonder if Glenn Powell is the new Brad Pitt for the younger generation.
Ooh. Well, here's the thing. Okay, first of all, love Glenn Powell. He's
your face,
a local Austin person. Yes. So like, and I know people he's hooked up with. So like, I just know.
Wait, no, don't you just whoa. Back up. Don't you just trail over that real quickly? Don't you just, wait, what did I say? Trail? Stumble? No. How dare you run across that field?
Back away.
Without leaving any tracks. What's happening? Wait, who's hooked up with Glenn Powell?
Look, I cannot say the name. I will tell you after, but it's a close friend. And then they, people live in Austin and they grow up together and that happens. Like it just, it's adorable. He's a really lovely person. And the fact that at the peak of what is his overexposure in the press where people are shitting on him, he's chosen to come back here And it's like he's here trying to vibe and live his life the best he can because he knows it's probably really hard to kind of balance all that bullshit. So I actually think he seems like a really good person.
What's the press saying about him?
Yeah, because when he was here and they did the premiere of Hitman here, because it's a Richard Linklater production, even though they shot it in New Orleans, it was Linklater's here. He's like Boyhood, everything. I mean, he's an Austin guy. And so, yeah. So basically like they did it. I did it with South by that they did the premiere. I was invited to it and I couldn't go. I was out of town. And so they had this thing, these cardboard things that said, make Glenn Powell happen or something at the red carpet. And so he's acutely aware of it and he's like leaning into it. But I think to a certain degree, he's like, you know, I did work really hard at these characters and he kind of nailed, if you ask me, I know he's not a character actor, but he did nail a couple of them. It was clear that he was like Tilda Swinton in one of them. Jason or American Psycho impression that he did on one of the characters was pretty
that was really great too. Yes, of Christian Bale. And then I thought the country guy he did when he was out shooting birds with that other guy, you know, because he plays he's Texan, right? He gets it. He gets the Southern accent. But yeah, there was just so much of it that I really needed a character actor or something. Like he's too much of a. I don't know what to say. Here's my biggest thing. You don't root for those two. You don't root for those two at the end.
Oh my God! It fell apart.
What was it? Well, he wrote it too. You know, Glenn Powell wrote it. He wrote it with Linklater.
Okay, fantastic. It probably, you know what? I could see that script like read really well on the page and in the room when people were like,
it
like
didn't
with
translate. It doesn't make sense. You don't root for them. And
I have more Glenn Powell. I'm so glad you brought this up. You were the best. I'm so glad you brought this up. I could have done an total episode about Glenn Powell. I didn't even know this because we watched Hitman not too long ago, and you and I didn't know that. So. Oh my God, maybe we should like do a part 2.
I love you. No, we finish off with this. I love it.
Okay, we'll finish it. Who doesn't need a longer Big Name Bitches podcast? Okay, we always do them a little bit under, and here you go. So I mean, he is Matthew McConaughey, like incarnate. Like they're trying to make him the next Matthew McConaughey. In a lot of ways, he plays like a geeky character and then he turns into this sexy hot character. And I was like, that's Matthew McConaughey. Like he's aspiring even in the way that he speaks. And yes, the Texan accent is a very particular accent. Right. That's not New Orleans. New Orleans has a very different drawl than Savannah. Yeah, Louisiana. It's all very different in the different states. And Austin in particular too, even in Texas, there's different kind of draws. And so Matthew's draw is exactly what Glenn's is. So when he turns it on and turns on the charm, you can't help but be like, oh yeah. And you remember when we talked about rodent boyfriends and how that's trending? He is the antithesis of a rodent boyfriend. I personally like it only because, I think rodent boyfriends are greasy, gross, and you'll catch disease. And I'm anti-rodent boyfriend.
Vermin. Yeah, he's adorable. And there's nothing wrong with him. He's not hurting a fly. Like, just let Glenn
Bless
Powell.
his heart.
Let him have his 15 minutes. Lord knows it doesn't last. It doesn't last for nobody. Not for a single soul. Sorry, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Okay, can we just talk, though, about Adria Arjona?
Who is this? The girl from the show?
Girl. Adria?
Oh, yeah.
Adria?
Mm.
I don't know how to say
getting it. You're still not getting it.
Adria. What do you think? Adria.
You got to roll the R when you don't know.
Beautiful name. Beautiful face.
Adria. Hello, my name is
What'd you think about her?
Yikes.
The silence is deafening. No, listen, she's lovely. She's beautiful. She's a good actress. I'm sorry, but like, I don't know whose fault it was, but I don't want to say, it almost seemed like, when it's just like, you are so sexy, girl. You don't need to put it on. You don't need to act
there you
sexy.
Go.
You're sexy.
That's what I wonder about, because those sex scenes felt very, very heavy-handed, the sex scenes. They felt very gratuitous.
Well, that, but also her doing the flight attendant, on the stairwell, and she was like almost speaking in slow motion. I was like, get to it, girl. This isn't sexy. Actually, you are, it actually, I'm not even joking, but it actually seemed like she was, had imposter syndrome and maybe never had sex before in her life or done anything sexual, because it was so put on. It was such a turnoff. I was like, enough, girl, stop. She seems so conceited.
Wow.
Not conceited.
No.
That's not the right thing to say.
I wonder if she had some No,
Did you
like
watch the movie?
Affected. Yes, I watched the movie.
Okay.
And so and I agree with you. I think maybe she was out of her comfort zone, and I think maybe she was overcompensating, and
maybe,
who knows? Maybe she was attracted to her co-star. Like, I don't know if she's single or not, but like,
maybe,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe she was put in a really weird position.
Totally.
You know?
I didn't even think about that. That beginning scene, she's lovely and believable. Like there's nothing wrong. I was like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It was like she hasn't settled into her own. Like she'll watch the movie and you know what I'm saying?
She's a little green. She was a little green. Yeah. She felt a little green. Okay.
But,
well, tips up or tips down?
For Hitman, tips down.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was not, literally it was like, I'm bored. I wanted to turn it off. I was so bored.
Okay,
Sorry.
I will say tips
how
down
can you
for
be
Hitman,
bored
but
with all those characters he was playing. Like I should not have been bored. And
right?
let me ask you this: was it supposed to be funny? Was it supposed to be funny or not at all? Just a hit. Like,
that's the thing. So
movie.
I'm gonna say tips down for that, and then I'm gonna say tips up for that other movie he did with Sydney Sweeney because I think he stole the show on that one.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
He has these like. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna like it, but like he did a very good job of being very. And I watched that through captions and not listening to it. And then I watched it again because I wanted to hear it because I was watching it on someone else's TV on an airline. And then I tried to watch it again with it. And I really did love it. Great ensemble cast. Tips up to Glenn Powell in general. Yeah. Tips up to Glenn Powell.
Yeah. Tips up. Yeah.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this extremely erratic and, just this is us. This is us, isn't it?
This is us.
This is who we are.
Follow us on OnlyFans. Follow us. I'm just kidding. Follow us. And we love you so much, you guys. And thanks for listening. And I have so much fun with you, Christy. I really love you so much. And Eric back there, you're not so bad yourself, hon. He's our producer,
you guys. Shout out
I want to be
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Love you.